Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, AI and Human Insights Powering the Future of MSP Success. I'm Sandy, and I'm an account executive at Guardz, and I'll be your host for today. In this session, we'll explore why AI is so crucial right now and what healthy teamwork between people and AI really looks like. We'll dive into practical ways this collaboration solves everyday problems for MSPs, including those valuable behind-the-scenes tasks. Finally, we'll show you how solutions like Guardz and SuperOps are helping MSPs operate more efficiently, grow their businesses, and better manage risks. Feel free to ask questions throughout the session in the chat. We'll get them answered as soon as we can. But now let's meet the speakers.
Hey guys, how you doing? Hey, I'm Elli Shlomo. I'm the head of security research team, and I working with the other teams inside Guards. And I can say that we're doing a lot of magic with security and providing a lot of benefit to our customers.
Hi, Ariel Stolovich. I'm for Guardz also. I'm head of AI. I've been about 15 years of cybersecurity and AI, doing both. And Ellie said, we're utilizing and using the AI to better the security for MSPs. There's a lot of stuff in Casper.
Hello everyone, I'm Sriram. So I'm not from Guardz, I'm from SuperOps. I'm a product marketing manager here at SuperOps. So I come from years of experience working with MSPs in terms of enabling them to streamline their processes, setting up their organizations and so on. So I was heading solutions engineering team. As a product marketing manager, I had the strategy for all AI initiatives in SuperOps today, and I'm also closely involved in making the in-product onboarding experience a bit better, so that the MSPs get the best out of SuperOps as they're utilizing it. So that's something for me.
Amazing. What a great group. All right. Well, let's get right into it. I think we all know that AI is a big buzzword now. We know that AI promises speed and scale and tighter security. Everyone's discussing it, but the core question is, how do we integrate AI and human expertise in a way that truly works for an MSP's success? How do we ensure that this collaboration between AI and humans alleviates pain points and makes operations more efficient for MSPs? Let's start off with discussing what the current industry challenges that MSPs face now and why now is so important for this AI adoption. Sriram?
Yes, so I'll go here. So one of the common, things when you look at the whole MSP industry, right? There's the obvious challenges. There's rising cost and pressure on being a profitable MSP and so on. But this is an age-old problem, like scaling operations while maintaining your service delivery quality is something that MSPs have had as a challenge for a really long time, and it's more important than ever because like 48%, like we recently ran a research where we found about 48% of an MSP's time goes about working on a lot of manual repetitive grunt work that they spend time on. So what happens here is, like, as an MSP I want to scale, which means I need to focus on a lot of strategic activities and not spend my day sitting and monitoring my L1 and L2 technicians. At the same time, I still need the L1 and L2 technicians to deliver, because I care about my customers operational efficiency, and delivering great service quality is of utmost importance. So this has become a challenge more recently, because there is a lot of data available, but there's no actionable insights based of it. And with the rising cost, there is a lot of pressure to scale without exponentially increasing the headcount as such. I think this is where AI comes in. Like, because we are at a point where AI is not a hype cycle anymore. We are at an inflection point, because traditionally, if you see people, why they started adopting help desk is because they want to move away from email, because they found out that help desk systems are much more efficient than maintaining your ticketing out of email. So we are at a similar stage right now, because there is an MSP who is like outgrowing another MSP who's competing with him by using better tools. Hey, he makes the same amount of revenue with 4 people, and I make the same amount of revenue with 10 people. So how do I get there? How do I ensure that I stay competitive in this landscape? So like I said, so I think that's why we are at an inflection point, and it's gotten more than a hype cycle where everybody keeps talking about how to use AI as such. That's my 2 cents on the whole, why AI is important at the moment.
Okay. I'll continue what Sriram said. I totally agree that the need is for MSPs and in general is huge. I mean, in security specifically, there's a total lack of enough of security personnel to deal with all the alerts and all the security needs. But on the other hand, I'll focus a bit about the AI since it's late emergence, since I guess ChatGPT brought to life. It seems amazing at first, and people were hyped about it, and then skepticism came because at first it only dealt with specific use cases, and when we tried yours, everyone tried their specific use case. It didn't work as much. So what our industry, as Etsuran said, we're evolved. We knew how to use it right, how to learn. The models got better, and what we really learned how to use the context correctly, how to use to give the AI the specific context for doing their specific tasks, and improve it so we can reason about the task and do it better. And now it's not really hype. And for specific use cases, you can really give and get enough advantage from the AI itself. So what we really need now is to do when to do it and how to do it, and that's the real magic that we're all working on, and how to give MSPs the right balance to use it at the right place and not replacing of course, the human intelligence. And we'll talk about it later, but improving it and enhancing it with the AI.
Yeah, correct. Ariel and I have a lot of discussions about AI, and moreover about AI and the human side. And we know there are two groups of those: the ones who loves AI and those who think it's not good enough. And this take us to a lot of things that we are doing behind the scenes. Uh, we can talk about few of them later, but as we know, it's not only AI, it's not only HI, it's together. And we call it inside Guards the AI hybrid era for the MSP driven cybersecurity. So, how we can take AI and HI together and to do our best.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with both Ariel and Eli, because, like he mentioned, AI is not something that's used as a gimmick anymore. It's not something like I understand people are right now very skeptical about, hey, should I adopt AI? In terms of what level of AI should I adopt in my current workflows and so on. But the people who are skeptical are thinking, hey, is it going to replace my L1 technicians? Is it going to take the work out of them? Is it going to replace them? I don't think we've come to a point where we need to be skeptical about that, because smarter MSPs are using AI as a catalyst, and they don't see that as a competition, because what a human is capable of, what an MSP is capable of, AI cannot do that, because uh, like an AI model is as good as what the human drives it to do. So that's why a smarter MSPs are using it as catalyst to take the grunt work of their L1 and L2 technicians so that they can go out there and make more business. So they're strategically using it in terms of saying, hey, these are repetitive things where I think an AI can step in and, take it from here. I don't need to sit and, do this data crunching by myself. I don't need to look at volumes of information and then process it and make decisions based on that. So, like you said, it boils down to how the MSPs perceive it. Like it's more about the perception, saying, hey, I think AI is a great catalyst for me to drive my business towards growth. So I think that's where we are at.
Just like that great quote, AI won't take your job, but someone who knows how to use it will. Really, it sounds like both Guards and SuperOps are really looking to help MSPs operate more efficiently. And at the end of the day, AI really is a tool in the MSP's tool belt that helps create that automation that helps them propel into scalability. So really wonderful how those two visions come together when it comes down to this use. Um, getting really into the heart of the matter, how do we truly integrate AI and human insights for healthy, powerful synergy? Because neither AI nor humans alone can tackle the modern threats, at least at the moment that we know of. So, what does the ideal collaboration look like? How do these MSPs win from this and fuel their growth? This is our opportunity to dive in a little bit into how Guardz and SuperOps envision these changing landscapes and how our combined vision helps reduce and manage risk, enabling you to do more with less. So, from Guardz and SuperOps perspective, what are the key elements that MSPs should prioritize to ensure that they're effectively blending AI capabilities with human expertise? And what are practical steps that they can take today?
Got it. So a healthy AI human collaboration is no longer about assistance. Like, it's about creating that agency where I say, hey, uh, it's the human intelligence that powers the decisions and AI that executes it. So the true synergy happens when human experience gives the AI its edge, saying, hey, this is the direction I'm headed towards, and this is what you need to execute. And in return, the artificial intelligence gives the humans the speed that they need to, go for driving these larger business profitability and successes. So I think that's where the whole synergy happens. Because right now, when it comes to super ops, we're not thinking how to add AI components onto an existing PSA RMM. We're reimagining it in a way where, hey, how does an ideal PSA RMM should look like in this AI era? Because if you don't integrate it at the core of your platform, it doesn't make sense for you to add it as an add-on to achieve a specific function as such. Because true synergy, like I said, both from a platform level from an MSP level, comes from the direction that you give the AI to, so that it can act to fulfill your needs. So I think that's the direction we are thinking about when it comes to building our roadmaps as such. This is one of the things that I heard from our product leader as well, which is, hey, we shouldn't think about adding AI onto it. We should think about how a PSA RMM should look like in the age of AI. So that's how our approach has been.
And just to add a comment from Jeanette from our audience, that it's interesting that people fear AI adoption when it's really HI, human intelligence, that drives AI. I think this really ties in very well with what Ellie was saying earlier, but also Sriram, what you mentioned. It's really the age that we live in. It's not it's not an add-on, but rather it's the circumstance that we have to adapt to where we operate now. Um, anything that you'd like to add, Ariel, when it comes down to these capabilities and the steps that we can take in with AI use?
Yeah. So I continue what Sriram said. So I think there are two main drivers when you look on at the collaboration of AI and human intelligence. It's first, I guess it's more a proactive approach. When the AI is at the first step, when you have, for example, let's say a security alert, then the AI can take this alert, handle it, and give you the most information. When the MSP gets the alert, it gets all the contextual information, and it can even close it before the MSP even sees it. So this is more a proactive approach when the AI is then the human use the AI results. The other way is more the second phase, when as a human, you want to analyze, for example, security alert. Then you want to use tools to analyze it, to use it. And this is another place where AI can shine. And you can tell it what you want, and it can execute as behavior said, as a co-pilot. So it's both ways. AI and then AI, and the other way around. So we can go both ways, and that's the collaboration that gives the most beneficial.
Yeah. Milana, can you share my file? As I can say something to provide some example about human and artificial. It's about a knife. A knife can cut a salad, but can also cause a damage. So, who can say which is more correct, man, a human, or the AI itself? So, that is very interesting. This is the reason why we are working together with the AI, because on the left side, on the human intelligence, we are the people. We know how to do creativity and innovation, and we have the ability to generate new ideas and develop original solution, etc., etc. Of course, we have the judgment and critical thinking, like the sample of the knife, and the ability to evaluate the complex scenarios that the AI can't. So we want to be on this side, and we can take the artificial intelligence to the side of scalability and speed, because when we have a lot of data, the AI can analyze massive data set and at speed of exceeding a human processing. So even with my experience with my team, we cannot process a lot of data like the AI. And of course, we have that the pattern recognition that AI can do it much better with detecting a pattern in data like anomaly detection and etc. So we know that when we are the human and the AI with us, we can do a lot of um, to provide a lot of and better solution to our MSPs and to our customers. And we want this integration to be much better at each task and each process, etc.
I strongly agree with Eli on this one. This is a beautiful diagram that he just showed in terms of explaining how the collaboration needs to look like, because healthy AI isn't about replacement, it's about responsible offloading. So context is of utmost importance here, because you need to pick and choose where the AI need to come in and where your decision making needs to play a key part. So for instance, like you said, AI can cut the apples, but it can still cause damage. So you need to draw that those lines, you need to draw those matrix, because so let's take an example, right? So I need to decide, hey, in this case I am going to give the direction and AI is going to execute it. And in this case, AI is going to give me insights and I'm going to take actions based on it. Like for instance, where like something like where there are a lot of alerts in SuperOps as well, you have AI on the tickets. So that will tell you, hey, so these are similar tickets that you've handled in the past. Like let's say there's a cyber security threat from Guardz that has been created as tickets within SuperOps. So SuperOps will be intelligently able to tell you that, saying, hey, these are similar tickets that you've handled in the past that will, that'll give you insights on how you have solved this before, so that if you want to do something, I'm going to go ahead and execute that for you. And it processes a lot of data, like Elias mentioned. So for instance, as a technician, I'm not just working on one ticket, I'm working on a bunch of tickets. So AI can just crunch the data for me and say, hey, this is the summary of the ticket that you're working on. You don't need to read through a 15 email thread for you to understand what's happening here, so that I can, do an action here. Like I can take an action based on whatever insight the AI is giving. And whereas at certain places, I can have the AI do the action for me, where I can say script gen is something that has been automated through AI as well. So I can clearly say, hey, this is the plain language text that I'm giving it to you right now. This is my use case. So can you give me a script and execute it, so that I can just go ahead and run that on an asset. So I'd be able to direct the AI to perform an action. So it's all about context, because you need to decide where you need to bring in the AI, and where your intelligence or your decision making plays a crucial part. And that's not just something that MSPs need to think about, the products need to think about as well. When I'm integrating AI into the product, like I am thinking on behalf of an MSP, saying, hey, this is where I give an insight to an MSP so that he can make action. This is where MSP can give me an instruction so that AI can go ahead and execute it. So that's sort of beautifully put out there in the diagram as well. So it's a hybrid intelligence that we are working towards.
And Shriram, to your point exactly, Allison from our audience comments that AI can serve as a second set of eyes for the strategic work that I produce. In some cases, it can also save me time when analyzing data and insights. However, it doesn't build my expertise. So, really tying in exactly into what you said, it's about not just responsible offloading, but it's also about understanding where the line is of what you can gain from this and how to get the best use out of it. Um, when it comes down to how AI really helps MSP teams And of course, Allison brought a great example of that. Have you guys seen anything in particular where AI really helped an MSP team, or maybe a magnificent failure that AI might have led to that you can share?
Yes, like that's a great point that you had mentioned here, right? So because you need to be the key stakeholder in terms of making those decisions. Like Alison mentioned here right now, it can be the second set of eyes going through my strategic work. At the same time, it can also be an executor when it comes to manual repetitive grunt work. So for instance, as an MSP, there are a lot of tickets that they usually get. Most of it are L1 tickets, which they've handled so many times before. So instead of them solving those tickets from the scratch, AI is able to tell them, saying, hey, these are the most common responses that exactly addresses the specific issue that has been raised, so that the AI can go ahead and close the ticket for you. So these are grunt work that you don't need to take up on your head. So like, for instance, when a technician is working on a ticket, tracking time. So I believe me when I say this, one of the biggest problems for MSPs have always been, hey, I do all the work right now, but when it comes to documenting my work, my technicians fail to add time entries on the ticket, which is crucial because I have to show the value to my team saying that I've done the work. But every time they're fixated on solving the issue, they worry less about, documenting it. AI can take that work out of a technician so that he doesn't have to sit there and key in, hey, this is exactly what I did. So that AI can just see what he's already done, pick that off, write his notes for him, and add the time entry onto a ticket. So this is where I've seen AI take the grunt work of the technicians plate as such. But like in terms of stepping the line, right? Another example where AI plays a crucial part in terms of providing insights is in SuperOps, you have like an efficiency report where like AI is constantly looking into your data and analyzing, saying, hey, you've gotten so many assets, so many tickets on a certain category. So, like, let's say we've integrated Guardz and SuperOps. There are a lot of cybersecurity alerts that are coming in with a specific topic in place. So, AI is going to give you an insight saying, hey, I see the ticket volume for this particular category is a little too high. Maybe do you want to do something about it? In that case, if the AI goes ahead and takes a decision on its own and sends something, it's going to mess with their entire cybersecurity posture as such. You don't want AI to do that. In that case, you just want the AI to interpret and give you details so that you can focus on the strategic work in terms of ensuring that you have the solution for it and you can fix it. So this is helping you be predictive, like proactive, like Ariel mentioned earlier in our conversation. So this proactive method of troubleshooting is aided by AI, but it's not completely done by AI because you don't want to risk it. So that's where the boundaries are, I think.
Thank you so much for that explanation. And actually, while you were giving that explanation, we got a question in the chat from Asni, directed at Guardz, and how Guardz splits what is human and what is AI. So I think it might be interesting to hear the other perspective of where these two live together. And really, Asni's wondering what's the best way to explain it to customers, to end users, where this kind of split between what human and what AI is doing in the platform. So Elli or Ariel, this would be a great question, maybe to address.
Ariel, please.
Okay, sure. So I think that when you develop an the MDR, so how do we handle incidents in Guardz? First, as we said, the first thing we need to understand, we want to handle incidents the same way, all 24/7, and have the best insights at the best time, and give and help our security professionals deal with them at the right time. So the idea was how to gather the information, the contextual data from the incident, and to don't give the MSPs to make it a lot of alerts. So fatigue. So what we want to do is try to use AI to find and tackle all the small alerts that they can handle very quickly, and understand that they are not real alert, and solve them, and only give the specific all the false positive put aside, only gives the things that AI is not sure about, but give enough contextual information that they already did the first analysis, and then the human, the MSP, or whether it's in the area itself, can do the deep dive where the human expertise is crucial. So when you build a system like that does the first grunt job, it's a proactive, it gets the information, gets all the context, it has all the user and etc. and all the system, and then do the first work, it will help the human only get the specific hard incidents to handle them, and already given enough contextual information so he can do his use his security expertise to do the rest. So that's I think it's a great way to discuss the path, the split between human and AI. Ellie, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I can say that we have a unique synergy between the human, a Ariel team, and my teams and other teams inside Guards. And of course, we have the AI itself and the various tools that we are working as a human and with the AI. And I can say that it's a start with the human side. It begins with the human side, and then continue with the AI, and then with the various tools, and then over again. So sometimes for example, we can start with a specific approach. It can be a small task, and the AI will do some other task, and we can provide the feedback and to validate what the AI has done. And from that point, we can proceed with our process and to bring it to our customers. And we have some good example with the alert fatigue that we will talk in a few minutes about it.
That's a wonderful segue. Yeah, it's really interesting because now that we've explored what this ideal synergy between AI and human insights really looks like, let's ground this a little bit more in practical reality. When we talk about everything that we're looking at here, what does this really look like in the day to day for an MSP that's driven by SuperOps and Guards? The right combination of AI and human expertise can not only solve these issues, but truly transform operations, delivering tangible results. So, could you please share, and maybe Ellie, you might have already volunteered for this, a real world example or a scenario where Guards and SuperOps have helped MSPs turn this AI human synergy into measurable success?
Yeah, yes, I can, and we have a few, but let's start with the one that is the most important, and it's one of the crucial things that we can see in the MSP and of course to the end customers. So it's the alert fatigue, and as we know, when we have some security product, at default we have thousands, maybe hundreds alert per day, and as we know, SMB cannot afford to handle this massive alerts. So what we have done, our Ariel teams and mine, it's to think about what we can do with the AI and security. And one of the solution, one of the scenario is the alert fatigue. And we thought about what can be a good scenario to reduce the alerts, to make sure that we not skipping and ignoring true positive alerts. So what we have done is we do the human side, and we review a lot of the alerts, a lot of the incident type, and from there we found that we need to build a specific incident, and based on that incident we saw that the AI can tag them, who is true, who is false, and to do some alert reduction to provide the true positive alert. Of course, in the process of creating the incident and the threat hunting, the AI speed up speed up the process. I can say we did a project in hours and not in a days. So this is the part of how it was done, and I can say that in the part of the AI, it's doing a lot of correlation and contextual enrichment to make sure that we know what we have behind the scenes with the incident, how the AI doing the triage, and when it provide the tag of true or false, and to provide the MSSP, the MDR team, the way to handle first the one that is true. And of course, we are doing some a feedback process that we are checking and validate this alert to make sure that everything is correct. And I can say that the alert reduction is working like a charm.
Yeah, and only I just want to add a little bit to what Ellie said about how crucial is the feedback loop. I mean, once you have, you start with something and you it only improves over time, because when you have more feedback from whether it's the security and MDR or even the MSPs, it's the AI just improves itself, learn better to understand to how to utilize the contextual information better, and it only improves. So that's something that really helps.
Yeah, and I can say that how it impact the MSP operation, and the SMB security. First, it's a faster detection. Second, efficient resource utilization, because now the MSP can focus on better things and not only on false positive alerts. And we know that those 2 points provide a value to the customer and to the MSP together.
I think those are really great things that both Ella and Ariel spoke about, because that's the overarching theme I see as well with respect to SuperOps, which is the reducing the manual grunt work that goes in, so that freeing up the MSP's time for more strategic work. So when, like, just when you put it out in plain sentence, it looks like a concept, but it's made reality right now, made into a reality right now because of AI. So one of the examples that I would like to talk about is also with the whole Guardz and SuperOps integration as well. Every time there's a ticket that's coming into your queue right now, like what I've seen to change a lot with MSPs today is, like, L1 and L2 technicians have gotten significantly better at their job leveraging AI. Because MSPs want their L3 technicians or MSP want their top technicians to be focusing on high value strategic customers, and at the same time, they don't want their L1 and L2 technicians to have the burnout by handling huge volumes of tickets. So what happens today is, when there is a new ticket that's coming into their system, SuperOps will tell them saying, hey, this is all the context that you need. So let's take a cybersecurity ticket that's coming into SuperOps today. It'll exactly tell them this is the context that you need to know from this customer in terms of troubleshooting this whole ticket. And also, you also have recommended solutions from the tickets that you've solved before, saying, hey, this is the solution that you had suggested earlier. Maybe you should go with it. So now, let's say I have to go one step further on this. In terms of unifying the whole context, one of the key things that L1 and L2 technicians used to struggle earlier is with respect to scripting. Because whenever there's an issue in an asset that they need to troubleshoot, if they are not very tech savvy, like if they don't know a lot of coding, I know the fix to this particular problem, but I don't know how to code it. That layer has been taken away from them right now, because they can just translate plain text to scripts that they can execute on assets immediately. So right now, I'm able to say, hey, this is the problem that I'm seeing in a particular asset that I'm working in within SuperOps. I need you to give me a script to fix this particular issue. SuperOps is able to give them the script, and they can also test it out on the particular environment so that they can fix it instantly. What this has done is, it's made the resolution time of tickets 40% higher, 40% faster than how it used to be. And like, people are more SLA compliant right now. They're saying, hey, I'm able to fix these things for you. And it is also freed up a lot of L3 technicians time. the number of escalations that used to happen has drastically dropped down today, so that like they don't need to bug an L3 senior technician or an L3 technician or an MSP owner with day-to-day routine that can be handled by L1. So on both the case, this is a win-win. And strategically, how this benefits an MSP and a customer is, like I said, like there is a report that we have within SuperOps today, which is the efficiency report, and AI that sits on top of it constantly analyzes this report and tries to draw patterns so that you can be proactive about fixing things. Because one of the quotes that I've heard from MSPs, which I've always found interesting, is it's not the number of tickets that I fix for my customer that matters, because like my customers don't measure my success based on how quickly I have fixed an issue for them. My customers measure me based on how many issues that I've cut down for them. So it's not about the downtime that they are retaliating. It's about keeping up the uptime so that they don't have these issues in the first place. So SuperOps is today intelligently able to analyze the ticket categories in a broader sense and says, hey, you've had network, there are 10 tickets on a network issue from a particular customer. Instead of fixing these issues one by one, maybe you need to do something about the network so that you don't get these tickets. So that sort of predictive intelligence is something that is being fueled to MSPs, so that there's value on both sides. As an MSP, I can fix things before it becomes a huge issue. At the same time, my client does not have to go through an issue, raise a ticket and wait for me to fix it. So that's sort of the area I think we've seen a lot of success with MSPs that has helped them scale rapidly, as opposed to MSPs who are not adopting AI today.
And to add a little bit to what you're talking about here, a comment from Sulaiman, some of these capabilities existed prior to the AI craze. AI has improved signature recognition, enhanced new tech capabilities, and has improved the scale of appropriate incident response. So really, to your point, it's giving you the ability to now be able to focus on the right initiatives, being proactive, being more strategic, and really offering the opportunity for an MSP to do that effectively.
I'd like to add a little thing about I think what's a main difference that AI brought here in regards to what it was before. I mean, the AI, and specifically lately, is what is called the agentic AI. It's where AI can use tools and can reason about insight. Unlike what was technology a couple of years ago, but regarding incident response, it usually had some kind of scripted response or kind of automation to do a specific incident, and you need to create a new automation for each new incident. The real power of the AI is the fact that it can use the tools and reason about it and do it iteratively and understand which path to go and do much, much better incident response than was before. So Elli, of course, as a veteran of the industry, can tell much better about it. But I think that's the main jump. It's not only doing the first automation that you need to do kind of scripted, but it can reason and do much, much more than it was before.
Yeah. So that's a great point that Ariel mentioned, because it's great that he mentioned about the agentic AI, or the AI agents being really powerful as well, because there are different levels of autonomy in which the AI has evolved. So it started out as like augmentative, where like it's informational. It gives you insights based on the data set that you have within your platform. And then it became semi-autonomous, where, hey, I have the data right now. Do you want me to go ahead and do this? And we are right now witnessing fully autonomous AI agents that can deliver specific value, that can deliver tangible results for an MSP. Like I can have an AI agent that doesn't solve a particular ticket. It has a larger goal today, so that it can make decisions based on my needs to complete the task, like without any human intervention or minimal human intervention. So absolutely there's context to it, but like Ariel mentioned, so that's where we are at right now in terms of creating that agency with the agentic AI, so that I think fully autonomous AI agents can solve for a lot of routine tasks or day-to-day grunt work of MSPs, like again fueling client expansion, business growth, and saying, hey, I can now sit down and focus on my strategy to scale my company from X million to Y million next year. So that's sort of where we are at.
Anybody would like to add any other comments before we open it up to some questions from the audience? Okay. We'd love to open it up to questions. If anybody has any questions that you haven't asked yet, feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll tackle as many as we can. I think one of the things that, while we wait, one of the things that was really important and highlighted here in questions earlier, and I think overall in the conversation, it's one thing when we talk about this conceptually about AI and its use, but it's another thing when an MSP is looking to sell their service to their customers and help differentiate themselves by using AI. I'm an account executive at Guardz, and I've had a lot of conversations where it really comes down to that. I want to use a solution that's leveraging an AI, and that's really going to offer my customers the best level of protection, the best level of efficiency for myself. The question that I have for you guys is really when it comes down to the ability to sell to customers as an MSP. And we talked about this a little bit earlier, but there's a line of the value to the MSP, and there is the value to the customer. I think we talked a lot about efficiency and the ability to offer more services for the MSP to the customer being a big value there. But in your opinions, what do you think is a great way for an MSP, that's looking to sell to small medium business, that's promoting their services? How best should they differentiate themselves in that they're leveraging these types of solutions that use AI at this degree?
Yeah, that is a good question, as you have always. So I can take it to the one that why SMBs cannot afford to rely on purely human or purely AI for their security purpose. Because as we know, SMB face critical and complex challenges. I can say that the first one is they are generating a high volume of security data daily, from the identity, the endpoint, the cloud workload, and many other areas that they have. But as we know, they often like dedicate SOC teams, and of course, if they have MDR or some MSSP or any other managed security. So we know that on this situation, to rely only on a human can be expensive. So this can lead to overwhelming, so for alert fatigue, as we talk, for hundreds or maybe thousands of daily alerts, and they have a limited time and limited resources. And of course, from the security side, we know that the attacker groups, the adversary, etc., they don't, let's say, they attacked SMB like the enterprise, but as we know, the SMB don't have the budget and the expertise on the people side. So let's say that traditional SOC models or the old paradigm, which rely on only on human analysts, are it's let's say cost and have a lot of cost issues and scalability issues, and of course standalone AI solution can fall short because they lack of the essential context and the adaptive and the adoption. So we know that we need both human and both AI to provide the best solution for the MSP, and for the, of course, to the end customer, the SMB, because now we are on the AI hybrid era. Everything is working together. We don't have the time, the cost, the expertise, and we want, of course, from the SMB view, they don't have this capability, so they need a solution. They need the results and the answers. So based on human, it cannot work. Based on only AI, it probably won't work. So together, that is the solution. And someone asked about how its guard is using or looking for it. So we already have a solution. We already can see it in the wild and how we can do the life of the MSP much better than before. So
So
that is the short answer for you.
it's a great point that Eli mentioned that, right? So because one of the things that I found interesting about what he mentioned was more than the operational efficiency, it's that predictive intelligence that the smaller MSPs get with AI that plays a key component. A larger MSP has two technicians sitting day in and day out, checking on all of this information, all of the tickets, digging through the false positives to ensure that they are, eradicated, so that when people come in, they can work on the right things. What gives the SMB the edge is that I have AI today on my system. Even if I'm not there looking into all the data that's coming into my system consistently, I have AI that's doing the data crunch for me, so that when I get into the system, I can focus on making the service delivery better. I can focus on resolving the issues instantly. So that's sort of the competitive edge that a smaller MSP gets when he uses an AI powered tool today. Because let's take a scenario, right? If an MSP who's an SMB is opening up a tool that does not have have AI in it, if AI is not integrated into the platform, all he has is abundant data that's available across different modules of the system, which he needs to go through, process, and then respond to it. What AI has done today is it has brought in that predictive intelligence where it's saying, hey, I'm going to dig in that. I'm going to read the data for you and give you the insights that you need to start proceeding. And I'm also helping you be more proactive. I'm also constantly telling you, hey, your clients have been complaining about XYZ more frequently. Maybe you need to fix that so that you don't need to sit down and grind. So that, like, when I put it into words, it sounds like a really small thing, but it takes up a lot of time of um, MSP's plate today, just like working through these tickets. As an SMB, as a small MSP, today with the whole AI powered solution like Guardz or SuperOps, I don't need to go through that. I have a competitive edge over my other MSP today because AI is out there being 24/7, even if I cannot be there, working through the tickets 24/7. So that's sort of the edge that I get, so that client A and client B are already happy because I've already predicted and fixed a bunch of issues that's going to come up in a couple of weeks. This has given me more time to go ahead and acquire a client C. I'm saying, hey, look at these two clients. They're already happy. They have very minimal downtime in terms of whatever I'm working on, because I have an AI powered system that constantly, feeds me with intelligence and I act on it. So right now, this is a great opportunity for you to jump onto my company, because another MSP who's not using an AI tool cannot give you the same experience. So that's sort of something that I can lead with.
Thank you, Sriram. Ariel, anything you want to add on this topic before we move on to our next question?
No.
So I'll ask the question from Jeanette. What percent of AI is used to resolve issues? And then our other question we'll save for right after this. What percent of AI is used to resolve issues? This could be a question to both.
I think
That's a great questions. We have we have some numbers for the alert reduction, but for other areas, I don't know what exactly the meaning of used to resolve this issue. But for the alert reduction, is around 95%.
That's okay. I was just pulling up numbers from whatever research that we ran as well. So 80% of issues I'm not talking about the percentage of AI that's used to resolve an issue, but like the impact that it has made. So it's the resolution time has been 80% faster when it comes to using AI in terms of solving. So that's the general consensus that we've arrived at, saying, hey, and level of AI that's being used in resolving specific issues varies, because you have L1 queries that doesn't need a lot of human intervention, so AI can just plug in an answer from whatever has happened before. And when it's a complex, larger issue, it gives you the insight so that you can pick and choose what to do and fix that complex issue that your client has. But give you an overall picture based on the intelligence that AI has been able to give into these issue resolution. The resolution time and the response time for issues has come down 80%. So that's sort of the consensus that we have right now.
And I'd like to add to what Ellie said. One of the reasons we get such a high number from to reduce the alerts using AI, it's the connection between when because our system is so integrated and the ITDR is connected to the AI using for the MDR for the alert reduction. It can utilize information from both sides, and the alert can be specified in a way that AI can use later on to better analyze the alerts, to do the right connection and right understanding. And when Ellie and I sit together, understand what's the new alert and how to do it, the integration is much better, and that's how you get to 95%. And we're hoping for it better.
That's wonderful. Thank you for that context. Another question from Solomon, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Is Guardz looking at a solution for clients using MCP?
I think I'll take it. Okay. So let's start that internally at Guardz we use multiple MCP server to do different integrations. Whether it's in the part of the product or when in all the background operation, like Ellie can probably share about how we do security research and the threat hunting, etc. So it's used throughout the product, throughout our company as well. I think as an outside, for integration to Guardz, we're currently using API, for example, to connect, of course, with SuperOps. And as an MCP, our words is something we're looking into it right now, but it's something that we haven't developed yet.
And by the way, Ariel is who taught me about MCP in the first place. So he really is the wealth of knowledge on this topic.
A great way to bring in the leaders and ask them about product roadmap and what they're going to build, so that like whatever Sandy wants, like you can just like, is that you asking those questions, Sandy, saying, hey?
I may have planted a few.
Yeah, that's what I do next. So I'm going to bring in my leaders as well, saying, hey, when are we going to do this? I need you to right now, because we are live and people are watching it.
With that being said, we've come to the end of our questions. If anybody has anything else that they'd like to drop into the chat, please feel free to do so. But if not, anybody that joined us today, we thank you so much for your time and for your wonderful questions and participation. We will be sending a recording. Also, we are sharing in the chat a demo link for sign up. If anybody's interested to have a demo of SuperOps or Guardz, we'd love to share with you guys a little bit more about what we're doing and how that can pertain specifically to your business. Again, thank you everybody for joining us today, and hope to see you soon on a call.